Thanks for joining me today. This is Wild Flavors. My name is Brenda Weatherby and welcome to my kitchen. Okay, today we are going to make a dish that brings two beautiful things together. First of all, mac and cheese and elk brisket. So this is a very easy dish to prepare. If you don't have the elk brisket, you can make the mac and cheese by itself. And if you don't have the mac and cheese, you can make the elk brisket by itself. But we're gonna combine the two today and show you what we're doing. So first of all, we are gonna we're going to use the Instapot for the mac and cheese. It's very easy and very quick. So we're gonna start and just put our butter in on the saute setting. Gonna let that melt really quick. And then we are going to add the diced onion and the poblano chili. If you are a spice person, you can sub that for jalapeno. But I found with my kids that they wanted a little bit of a kick, but not too much of a kick. So the poblano is my favorite. So we're gonna put those in to the saute setting. The great thing about an Instapot is you can do a lot of one pot meals, but I would say be picky with when you use your Instapot and when you don't. If you cook everything in the Instapot, everything will just be bland and boring. You have to be picky about what you use an Instapot for. So beware of the cookbook that says you can throw away your range and just cook everything in an Instapot. Okay, so these are gonna cook down for about 10 minutes. So don't be in a rush. We want the poblanos to cook enough down so they aren't too much of a bite once we get them in the mac and cheese. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so that onions and poblano chilies have been sauteing. They look perfect. Now is the time to add our noodles, whatever noodle design shape you want. Pour those in, that's about a pound of those, and some chicken stock. Okay, we'll just give it a quick stir. The beauty of this is the Instapot's gonna do all the work. So we are just going to shut it, make sure it's on seal, hit it on the manual, so that's the pressure setting, and make sure it's set to 6 minutes. This is funny. So last night I cooked the elk in the pressure cooker for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm actually having to go backwards all the way to 6 minutes. Not planned, but that's cooking for you. So we're going down. I will tell you about the elk brisket in just a second once we get this cooking, because found a great way to do it. Okay, 6. All right, so that's gonna start. It takes about 10 minutes to get it up to pressure and then it'll count down to 6. So don't be alarmed if you haven't used an Instapot. It's starting. That 6 minutes, once it's up to pressure, will count down. So when it's getting to like about 1 minute, you know, okay, next step is ready. So, okay, we're gonna talk about the elk here real quick. This was just a rear steak. Maybe one of my tougher rear steaks, but not like a front steak. So a rear steak, I found a great recipe that allows you to do this 3 different methods, either the oven method, the pressure cooker method, or the slow cooker method. So I will include all 3 of those. Then there is a dry rub that you rub over it with a multitude of spices. A little bit of sweet, a little bit of hot, so that's great, with a little olive oil drizzled over it. So then you just put that into the pressure cooker. and then add a little bit of barbecue sauce and apple cider vinegar, which will then also help it to break down. So I cooked this in the pressure cooker for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then once I opened it up, I saw it was a good consistency, but it almost needed to just loosen up a little bit. So then I let it stay on warm for multiple hours. Now it's perfect. So we will shred this up in preparation for the mac and cheese. You obviously can use this shredded elk on multiple things or just eat it just like this. Put it on a roll for a sandwich, top it with barbecue sauce. It's absolutely perfect. So that will be all ready for us for the mac and cheese at the end. Okay, so we still have a few minutes to wait for that noodles to cook up. So we'll wait here and finish it off in just a few minutes. Okay, so if you look in there, it's perfectly cooked, so you don't have to strain any water or any of that. It's amazing. So I'm gonna give it a quick stir, real quick, to get those onions in. So you can see it has a little bit of liquid, just enough to where when we pour in the cheese and that half and half, it's just the perfect consistency to do a great melt. That. And last but not least, a little bit of Dijon mustard. And if you don't like mustard, you're never gonna taste it, but it just gives it a perfect little consistency and a little zip to your flavor. Some mac and cheeses are like so overboard on the cheese that you're just so full and it just doesn't go good on your stomach. This is about perfect. I've seen some other recipes that are gonna do twice as much cheese. This is about 2 cups of cheese for the 1 pound of noodles. So, okay. So we're gonna just let that sit. We're gonna add our you could do more or less. I actually think I need a little bit more. This is all personal preference. So we'll grab that. Okay, that's about right. We'll stir that again. Okay. Perfect. Now, most of the time, I'm going to be honest, I just scoop it right out of the Instapot. But if you want to get fancy and you're going for presentation, then let's take some of this and put it in our baking dish. That brisket just totally melted together. Okay. This would be great if you're going to bring it over to someone's house and you don't want to bring this whole thing. You want it to be in a nice presentation. So we could do that. Then here I have some buffalo Gouda, which I don't know if I've ever bought, but you guys are special, so I went all out. We're going to top that with that buffalo Gouda. And we are going to put it in the oven on broil for just like 3 minutes. Then when you bring it out of the oven, it's going to be gloriously beautiful. So we're going to go put this in the oven just for a few minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, mac and cheese with elk brisket in the baking dish if you prefer, or straight out of the Instapot. Let's put some in here so we can taste it. Oh gosh, that was a big clump of brisket, the more the merrier. Get some noodles with that. Okay. The finishing touch is balsamic. If you like balsamic, this just does a great little finishing touch on your mac and cheese. Just a smidge. Had that in a restaurant once and it totally changed all of mac and cheese forever. So, okay. Super good, rich, amazing elk. The Gouda, the buffalo Gouda is amazing at the end as well. So go big on your cheese, go big on your elk brisket, and enjoy yourself some mac and cheese. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time at Wild Flavors.